So people always say penny stocks are a scam. Don't trade penny stocks. Penny stocks are terrible. Well, here is a prime example of why trading penny stocks can be very profitable if you're smart and you have a plan. So breaking it down here, MTBC, let's talk about this one. So yesterday, I actually alerted this one on StockTwits. We were trading this in the chat room. I actually shorted it a couple times. It's pretty funny. So I shorted it a couple times from like $1.20 down under $1. So looking at this on the 5-minute chart, you can see yesterday it jumped up from 40 cents. So it literally went from 40 cents yesterday at open up to $1.50. It got halted a couple times along the way, went to $1.50, came back down to $1 area, and then kind of set around that $1 area into close, jumped back up to $1.40, and then after hours didn't do much. So this morning I thought, well, this might have potential. It might want to run again. Well, it just kind of pre-market started crashing, came down to $1. It jumped up a little bit to $1.20, came down to 90 cents. So this has went from literally 90 cents up to $2.18 now. Good risk, if that's not a good risk to reward ratio, I don't know what is. Hindsight is always 20/20. It's easier to look at these stocks, you know, an hour later after they made the move and say, oh, that would have been the good move. That would have been the buy spot. When this was at 90 cents, I definitely wasn't thinking about buying it. Once it crossed this, once it went from red to green, that was the buy spot. I actually was trying to get in here. So it had some resistance there at that $1.25 area. And I was looking for that break of $1.25, you know, that quarter mark, usually resistance around that $1.25 area. You can get those pops from that 25 to 35, 40 area up to $1.50. So was looking for that break, ended up trying to get in there at $1.26. I couldn't get filled. There's a bunch of people also watching that same area, obviously, because everybody was trying to get in there. Not a ton of volume there on that move, but once this thing opened up, it got halted at $1.20. I think at $1.27 it got halted, and you can see this move here on this candle. It went up to $1.69. So huge move there on MTBC, and now it's up to $2.20, and it's kind of just doing these weird, you know, it bounces up high, comes back down, bounces up. Not super steady, not really safe. That's one of the reasons I haven't traded it actually, and I've just been watching, been seeing some opportunities, seeing some of these pullbacks, like, oh, maybe I'll jump in there, and then I'm like, well, nah, I don't really want to risk it because I've had a couple weird days and haven't had a lot of follow through. And then obviously now, an hour later, all those dip buys would have been amazing buys. The shorts are trying to keep this down. The shorts are really holding this down. I just saw we had a high here. We had these tops at 215, 215, 214, 214 area. You can see these kind of quadruple tops. So a lot of people were watching this break of 215. I saw in the chat room people talking about, well, maybe getting in at 216. And I was thinking, well, I don't really like that idea because I see on level 2 there's a lot of shorts trying to keep this down. I think what they're going to do is they're going to let it jump above that 215, and then they're going to smack it down. So all those new buyers who buy at the break of 215 are going to get smacked. So it went from 218 there on that move down to $2. Big drop there. The shorts trying to keep this down. They're trying hard. They don't want this to happen again. This move from $1.67 up to $2.06 there. Big move. The shorts could not hold it down. They were trying here, trying hard, waiting for the best opportunity to see when we can get in. This stock has been heavily shorted now, so it's setting up for a big explosion. I wouldn't be surprised to see this above $3 by the end of day if the shorts can't keep it down. And it looks like it might try to go right now. Actually, no, it's getting held down. You can see as soon as it jumps up, you see a lot of sellers jump on it and try to keep it down. So a lot of people trying to get this below $2. If it breaks $2, it might crash back down to that $1.60 area, and it looks like it might happen right here actually. Up. It's a battle between the bulls and the bears right now, so we'll see what happens. It's been bouncing around this area for the last 30 minutes. So when people ask me, is it safe to trade penny stocks? Obviously, it's not safe. It's not like buying Apple or a Google. When you trade these stocks with a plan, when you trade them with the idea that they can crash at any moment, you can make some money. That's kind of the big momentum plays here when you're trading these small caps. If I would have got in here at $1.20, $25, I would have looked to take profit, you know, that close to that $1.50 area after that halt, because I would have known this was going to go flying after a halt on the big green move like that. So if you're cautious, if you pay attention to the market, if you're watching for these small caps, don't be afraid, because there's always opportunity to get in and out fast. If it starts tanking, obviously you want to cut your loss. You know, the biggest thing is going into these trades with a predefined plan. You know, knowing that I'm going to buy it at $1.26 on that break there, and I'm going to look to take profit at $1.40 no matter what happens. If it starts to crash, I'm going to cut my loss at that $1.20 area. So playing it very safe, and cautiously, and really trading these stocks with the idea that they can crash at any moment. And you can see here, huge move on MTBC, up from 40 cents to 2.18 in the last 24 hours.